Hello and welcome, Reds. Thank you very much for tuning in for our pre-match build-up show. I'm joined by my Everton mate, Tom. Thank you very much for coming on, mate. That's to persuade him to come on. Obviously, Everton haven't been playing the best, which we'll discuss today. But cheers for coming on, Tom. And obviously, if there's any Reds or Blues, get in the comment section below on your team selection, your thoughts on the game, how it will unfold. Really, but Tom, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Really do appreciate it. But just before, obviously, we do touch on to that. There was some really very sad news in relation to Ray Kennedy has sadly passed away with his battle with Parkinson's. A gentleman, as the Anfield Rapper said here in a great tweet, a gentleman and a Liverpool legend who has won everything there was to win in his career. So obviously, what a legend. Obviously, I didn't grow up with Ray Kennedy, but you've seen the documentaries. Obviously, Ray, I think he very much won. Let's get the stats up. I think it was 5 league titles, 3 European Cups, 1 UEFA Cup, obviously European Super Cup, 1, and obviously 1 League Cup. So he's won everything, as the Anfield Rap lads have said. So thoughts go out to his family and that Ray, but what a legend of Liverpool Football Club. But Tom, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Obviously, 2 teams that are very much coming into the game in complete different positions, really, mate. But we'll start off, obviously, with the main man that is going to be the talk of the town, really, in relation to that man. Oh, let's zoom in there. Rafa Benitez, mate. It's. Do you feel it will? A lot of the build-up will get generated, and rightly so, in relation to this man. Obviously, he's very well respected from the Red Half of Merseyside, and obviously, his appointment did come with a lot of noises and grumblings, and rightly so. Obviously, he's the ex-Liverpool manager, being very successful at the football club, but. What are your thoughts in terms of the reception at Goodison Park, especially if Everton are put into position of where, if we are winning, hypothetically, Liverpool winning and we're singing Rafa's name?
Yeah. What can I say? When his name first got appointed, I can just say that I think a majority of our fans weren't happy about it, but at the end of the day, what can you do? If the board think he's good enough, then we can't argue. So it's just one of them. I think he's a good manager. He's got good tactics. He's done well with Newcastle. With us, probably get the team back together, sorting their lives out, probably. But I can't blame him this year.
Yeah. It's good old friendly banter, mate. Obviously, there is that side of obviously rivalries, not just Liverpool, but I've seen this fixture in recent times. Most importantly, it has gone a bit toxic, and that shouldn't be the case, really. Obviously, me and Tom, we have a bit of banter, but obviously some stuff I've seen in the grounds as well, especially at Derby. It's not too nice. It's not. It's a friendly. It used to be a friendly rivalry, didn't it, Tom? But as I said, in recent years, it's very much. Would you say it? It's kind of changed. It's not like in the '95 when
I think
times have changed, really, haven't they?
Yeah, I think because now the football's changed a little bit more as well. It's a bit more aggressive kind of way, yeah. So like more. All right, back in the day, there's more challenges flying in, but now this is like. It is. It's just like they're trying to kill each other. You know what I mean?
As I've been saying to you, Tom, and obviously on our shows on the channel, mate, you've heard me say, right, just go through them, and which we'll discuss today. I'm pretty sure Tom will be all for the Everton players going through Liverpool players, and obviously if there's any Everton fans out there, you'll know the challenges we're talking about anyway, mate. But yeah, it's. Derby's form does go out the window, mate. Been speaking to you, Tom, and obviously on the channel as well, Reds. I've been saying, we'll be absolutely smacking them up, Everton. I'm hoping that is the case. But as I said, form goes out the window. Liverpool, I think, have won. Let's get that stat up in relation to There's 1 win in the last 9 fixtures at Goodison Park. Obviously, the 1 win, obviously in recent times, was the Sadio Mane goal. The Rodrigo Mane goal anyway, last minute, last kick of the game when the flare gets lobbed onto the pitch anyway. But Tom, it's been a bit of a mad one. What has happened with your lot? Obviously, injuries have had a massive impact in terms of recent Everton form. But in terms of the players that are fully fit in recent weeks, what's happened, mate? Is it just an accumulation of bad tactics by Rafa, or Rafa trying to implement his tactics on a football pitch, but not having the real quality to really pull off those tactics?
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think it's a mixture of all of them. It's because I think he's trying to implement his tactics, but without the players there, it's pretty much hard for him to do that. And Everton lacking strength there and like the squad depth, because we just haven't got the quality for it. The players that come off the bench don't seem to be the best. And you know, you can say that we spent a lot of money over the past 4 or 5 years, and you know, they're just not the players I actually want to play for this year. They're just there for the money, I think. So
from an outside
I feel
point
sorry.
of view, Tom, for me, it's, and everyone in chat, let us know what you feel in terms of your views on Everton in relation to the tactics and that. For me, it's accumulation of, as I said there, the tactics and the philosophy in which Rafa does very much want to deploy at Goodison Park. There's as you said there, mate, there's an accumulation of different stylistic types of players. Obviously, given the amount of managers you have had in recent times, obviously you had Moyes for quite a large period, 10 plus years, and you knew how they would play. And obviously going up with David Moyes' side is very different to, say, a Rafa side now, and obviously previous managers you've had. Do you reckon it's an accumulation of different style of players? And obviously it's like 4 types of players that have been brought in, and certain, obviously Martinez, Allardyce's, and obviously Koeman's, and obviously now Rafa.
Yeah, like you say, we've got like a mixture of like loads of different players from loads of different managers that wanted to influence their tactics into the team. Like say Martin, I felt sorry for Martinez when he left, because it was just the time that we got the takeover. I think he probably would have done better. Now we had a bit more money to bring in the players that he wanted. Coleman was like a little Dr. Frankenstein, buying loads of players that just didn't, you know, suit the style of his play. As like you can see what he's done at Barcelona recently. Like he just ruins clubs. I think he should stick to like international management, because he does really well with the players that he can formulate.
Yeah, definitely. And just on that as well, Tom, do you reckon it'll be the board? Is it a factor of the board?
I think probably is the factor of the board as well. I think a lot of people are calling for Brands' head as well at the moment, with his recruitment and how he brings in the players. But I think technically, that's to do with the board, Brands, and the manager. So Brands is like the middleman. So we want to bring in the players that the manager wants, but then the board probably wants to bring in a different player. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I think Brands does very well in the transfer market, especially by bringing in players, especially on the cheap, which are like quality. Or like we did have, you know, James Rodriguez, which we did technically get the free. So we've done really well there, but obviously he just didn't want to play for the club. You know, I don't know. I just hope that, you know, it's going to be hard for Benitez, because we are in the minus in financial fair play.
Yeah.
We are minus 35 million, which is probably the worst out of all the clubs in England, really. And, you know, I think if Benitez can sell some players in January, or maybe at the end of the summer, hopefully we can get back to that peak and start signing players that he actually wants to play for the team.
Yeah, I know being joking with you, mate, but from an outside point of view, Wobie, like I'm telling you, you and Ryan, we could have mates, like he should. I don't even know how he is a footballer. The man can't even pass up a football, really. But it's very interesting, Tom, in relation to that. I know me and you have been joking and all of us on the channel about this game. But as I said, I know I've been quite positive in recent days, but when I've seen that start, 1 win in the last 9 fixtures at Goodison Park, form very much does go out the window. As long as Liverpool play the way we have done, but it's not as easy to really get into those games as a Tom in terms of derbies or big fixtures. You can't always have that instant reaction. Obviously, it depends on how obviously the fans react to certain challenges. It always used to be in a derby, then Tom. Someone just get absolutely crunched within like the first couple of seconds of the game, and that would raise the atmosphere within the ground, whether that be Goodison or obviously Anfield as well. Any update in terms of who potentially the Liverpool team could potentially be coming up against in relation to obviously is there any big key injuries for Everton? As we've just been speaking there, you've very much played with injuries, but has there been any change in relation to potential players being in or out of the team?
So from Benitez's press conference today, he did say that it's the same team, but Angelo Gomez is back into training. So we've still got Tom Davies out, Yeremina and Calvin Lewin that are still on the injury list. So could be the same team that could be playing against Brentford.
Yeah. Oh.
So
does that not fill you with a lot of hope?
Well, all right. Richardson's back in obviously because he missed Brentford because of the so many yellow cards. But I think having him up front,
he's not missing. I really am.
I thought you wanted all your players to go through him. To be fair, mate.
That was off camera, but yeah, might as well on camera. I'll be all for it. I'll be ringing you and Grace. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Tom and all of our Everton mates probably put us on ghost mode or something for a good week, especially Liverpool too. But hopefully it's not Rose first. Because I tell you, I will be off social media for the couple of days. But let's get to everyone's comments in the comment section below. Really to appreciate it. If you don't mind dropping a like on the video, everyone. We just hope the algorithm anyway, absolute legends. Lalu, getting Jackie boy. How you doing, mate? Are we having a good day? We are winning. Zuki, fingers crossed, lads. I know we've been playing very well in recent weeks. I think we'll smash them this time round. It's about time. Last time we won at Goodison was in 2016. Yeah, that was a very, very long time ago. Lalu. Rafa will come good for them, but he needs the support of obviously the fans. It's not like they've been giving him money to build this squad. Yeah, that's very much what Tom's just echoed there, mate. It's a difficult situation that you do find yourselves in, Tom, innit? Because obviously I think a lot of he's a very realistic Everton fans. I know we joke about you, but I think the fixture against Brentford very much said Everton about that squad, didn't it? Obviously, we've all seen the videos after the game of the away sections, giving them all the fingers to the players and just said, no, don't come over to us when you've played like that.
I think now, like you were saying, me mates did send me videos of like the instances of like, you know, putting the fingers up and basically telling the players to fuck off and all that. And, you know, I think now they've started to realise that it can't be the managers because we've been through so many different managers now and we can't keep sacking them just to say that it's the players. It is the players. They're the one that are actually on the pitch. So they should be trying and winning. And, you know, by the looks of it now, the first halves and every game that we've played, we've been shocking. It's always the second half that we seem to go out there and think, you know what, we're going to have to try and do this and that. And yeah.
What devil's advocate, what would happen if the one game, it was like when we played Man United, I've said potentially this could be another Man United for Liverpool in relation to we rock up to obviously the stadium and then play the way we do. Could it be one of the most toxic atmospheres that you've seen in recent times at Goodison, especially if it's off the back of recent results?
Yeah, I could see like if we get absolutely like a 5-0, then I could see them calling for like the board's head, the manager's head, everyone. I think the fans would start protesting.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting, mate. Rafa will come. Oh, yeah, read that one. Spot on there. The Anfield Arc legends. Jota de Slaughter will be on form tomorrow. Fingers crossed, Andrew. So will Thiago Alcantara tomorrow after scoring 2 in 2. I'm going for a huge Liverpool win. Yeah, we'll save our predictions to the very end, mate. But very much agree with that, Andrew. To see Rondon up top for them gives me joy. Tom, there was loads of joking after the game. Was he injured against Brentford, or was he just Rafa didn't have anyone else over to play than Rondon?
I think his fitness is really, really in a bad situation, and even he didn't even go to international duty because he said he wants to stay with the team and get fitness levels further to like what Benitez wants him to be. And I know a lot of Everton fans call for, Sims and Dobbin to come in because they're young, they're fresh, they've probably got legs, but I don't know. Benitez sees something in Rondon, and he's, when he had him at Newcastle, he's one of them players that once he scores one, he doesn't stop scoring. He carries on, and I just think, Brentford he was unlucky. He had a few chances, but I think his legs just are given way.
Yeah, doesn't it? When you got Dominic Calvert-Lewin modelling on telly, does it? Doing all these adverts.
Yeah.
From boohoo.com. And he was on Sky Sports a couple of weeks as well. So, but yeah, Mitchell saying that loads of pool players have done loads of adverts. Don't mention our documentary years ago. On paper, this is how I'm not having a dig. It's literally one of the top 3 teams in the world versus relegation fodder. Love it, Mitchell. Don't bring drama like that, but yeah, it's facts in it, Mitchell. Facts, Rafa facts. Premier League, take emotion out of it, but it could be a hiding. Fingers crossed, Mitchell. But as we said at the top of the show, it's never an easy fixture, as the stats say. But if we play the way we can do, we should get 3 points. Should. What a good lad, Tommy. Straight up and fair about both teams. Aye, that's why he's my mate, lad. I wouldn't have had any of it anyway.
I can't be bitter when I want to, but I am fair.
Yeah. Hope Richarlison doesn't lose his head and tries to. Do you reckon he'll do that, Tom? Obviously, especially if the game is running away from us, and that is something. Do you reckon that's something Liverpool have to? Obviously, it's a derby. People will be getting absolutely crunched, and for both sides, I'm hoping. But obviously, everyone is safe. But it's not a friendly derby, as we said before. But do you reckon it's important for the Everton players don't lose their heads in terms of if it isn't going the right way? Because especially if it is going in a negative way, so as you said before, if it is 3-4-0 up at like half time, like at Old Trafford for Liverpool, and then you've got the players, as you've just been speaking about, their attitudes in terms of their performances. But from an Everton point of view, you want to see at least as good performance level, but an attitude level as well, don't you?
Yeah, I'd like to I want them to go in with every challenge, but I want them to go in recklessly, like some players do. Where that Charleston's the very hot-tempered player, and he does like to go through a few people. I've seen it with Godfrey lately as well. Godfrey's very hot-tempered. We had it with Holgate. Holgate was very hot-tempered, especially in the last derby when he pushed for me. It's just I want them to rise to the occasion. I don't want them to be a shithouse and not go into a challenge. I do want them to go into a challenge, but I don't want them to do like what a Pickford does and break people's legs.
Yeah, no, it's the thing, mate. It's a massive game for you as well as us. Obviously, 3 points will be massive considering obviously the form in which you find yourselves in. But I'm very intrigued to see how this game does unfold, mate. Obviously, Rafa, he's a very good tactical manager in relation to how he does set his side up. As we've already spoke about the players on the pitch, not quite got the players yet. I think it will take, do you reckon it'll take a good, not even one, but like 3 or 4 windows if he still is at the club?
Yeah, I think it's going to take them a while, especially like I said with the financial fair play. I think until we get people's wages off the books and the numbers right, then we need to sort that situation out first before we sign any more players. It's all right getting players on the free, but we need to get some quality in there.
Yeah, I've just seen you. I feel like I want to see Alisson Superman into Richardson. Hey,
Oh dear.
if they do what West Ham done to us, lad, he won't be able to use his hands.
Yeah.
The one thing about Klopp is his players don't get red cards often. Nobody haven't drinks that Lalu, but you never know. Downton, that's all very well, Mitchell, but for those of us who have mixed blues and red families like me, this is war, Downton. You're absolutely spot on there, mate. As I said, me and Tom probably be dodging each other for a couple of days.
Oh, mate, my phone's getting turned off for about a week if we get battered 5.
Yeah, it's the thing, isn't it, mate? As we said, it's Liverpool as a city is always going to be united, regardless of club colours. Obviously, in recent years and over the history of the city, obviously, but football is very passionate. Like up in Newcastle as well, and certain cities within the UK, and world football, especially the Argentinian fans as well. Every club, it means so much to us, and obviously, I'm very intrigued. But Tom, I won't keep it any longer. Hopefully, try and get Tom on for the post match if he's around. I don't think.
Yeah, I'll be around, mate.
Yeah.
I'll be around.
So team selection, mate, and obviously we'll finish on I'll go with my team selection, and then Reds and any Blues are in the chat as well. Get your starting 11 into the chat. I'll read it out. Who do you reckon to start for the Ev, Tom? We've just been speaking about injuries, potential injuries, but who do you reckon will start come tomorrow night?
I think it'll be the same team against Brentford, but maybe will be out for Richarlison, and maybe Rondon's going to be on the bench, and then Damari Gray will sit on top.
Is Gray been playing up through the middle or on the wide?
Well, he's been playing like pretty much on the wide and in the middle, but I don't know. Maybe swap down, put Richarlison on top, and then Damari Gray in the middle. But he was whipping balls in against Brentford, and you couldn't complain about that. So I don't know. We'll have to see what Benitez. But I hope that's the same team.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Reds. Let us know your starting 11s. I'm gonna go with Ali in goal. Trent, Matip coming in for obviously. I know Canate started last week, but Matip, due to his experience and as we said, the Derbies are very feisty in terms of. But you need that experience at the back. I think I'll bring Matip in with Van Dijk. Robinson, our own Jordan Bunny, he's back. He'll be up and down now. And we've just been speaking about, obviously, he is probably one of the biggest wind-up merchants in the Premier League. I'm pretty sure he's probably public enemy number 1 for the Everton fans anyway. So I'll go with Robbo at the back. And obviously, for me, I'd go with Fabinho, Henderson, and Thiago. I wouldn't change the midfield 3. Let us know if you do that. And obviously, I'd personally go with the same forward 3. Obviously, Salah, Jota through the middle, and Mane. But it wouldn't surprise me if Jürgen does throw a random Divock Origi in there, because we've seen it in recent times, especially against Everton. He does like a good goal against the Ev, especially if it's the crossbar.
There we go.
So, score prediction, mate. What do you reckon? You can be as deluded as you want. Go on.
I'm going to be more of a realistic, mate, and I'm going to say 1-1.
1-1. It's not as bad as I thought. Right. Yeah, I go 2-0. Now, you know what? No. I'm going to go 5-0.
Go on, you're gonna go for it, yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Can't wait for this to massively backfire. You better not click this video, Tom. Any of yous. But yeah, I go with 5-0. But I think, as you said before, mate, Everton got to be very cautious. But as I said, we play like we can. If we play like we did against United, But I think Everton will be much better coached than Manchester United when we played them. But yeah, I go 5-0, mate. I know it. And Salah, I go with a Salah hat-trick, you know. He got one against the Manchester United, and I think he'll be right up for this. But yeah, Lalu, I can imagine Abby. Same XI as you, spot on there, boys. But Reds, thank you very much for tuning in. Any Blues as well. Enjoy the game. As I said, Tom, thank you very much for coming on, mate.
Thank you for having me, mate.
And obviously, Reds, enjoy the game as well. And obviously, Blues, any Blues. So it's tomorrow night. Fingers crossed the Reds can get all 3 points. Sorry, Tom. Or you just got to be taking all 3. It's a massive game, not just for Liverpool, but for Everton especially. And it will be intriguing. If Liverpool do get 3 points, depends on the manner, as me and Tom have just been speaking about last 25 minutes. It's the reaction. Will the Everton fans react to the board, or will it be Rafa getting all the stick and not the players? Because for me personally, said Tom before, and most of the Reds, it's got to be the players that need to take a lot of the brunt of the responsibility, as you said before. But Reds, won't keep you any longer. Tom, as well. Really do appreciate tuning in. Every single one is at home. Have a lovely, hope you're having a lovely Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day you're watching the video. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And as well, get your score predictions in, and obviously your starting 11s, whether that be for Everton or Liverpool Football Club as well. So, Reds, see you later, Tom. Thank you very much, mate.
No, thank you, mate.
Or use in the comment section below. You're absolute legends. See you later. You never. Oh, hold on.